Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back. Actually, I don't even know if we say welcome back, but it is welcome to the premiere episode of the Reality Wagon Bachelorette. Not even et. Let's scrap that et.
Yeah.
It's Bachelor podcast.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, we're a little rusty. You take 1 week off in a 6-month period, and then it just doesn't, it doesn't come as naturally as it did before. But thank you for joining us once again. My name is Anthony.
My name is Andrew.
And we are joined by our very good friend, Andrew's roommate, our personal chauffeur up to the mountains this weekend, Spencer. How are you, Spencer?
Hi there. I'm pretty good.
Spencer watched most of the Bachelorette season with us last time, so a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we were just so in the zone, and now we're gonna see how he does on the mic. So we'll go ahead and we'll just kind of, I don't even know if we crack right into it, but I mean, it's weird, the premiere episode. There's a lot to take in, and it moves very fast.
It moves fast. It's a lot to take in, and even just like the Bachelorette, I can't remember anyone's names, so I don't try to until the second week.
Yeah, I only know them by their gimmick.
Yeah, and exactly, their gimmick
or their personality or some sort of trait about them.
Oh, I'm sure we don't know exactly who you're talking about.
I won't mention it. It's all right.
Exactly. I'm sure Spencer has an opinion or two about gimmicks.
No, he knows her name.
No, not yours. I meant in general.
We'll get to it.
Oh, boy.
No.
Right.
What I'm saying is, listen. What I'm saying is you have a problem that you actively said throughout the show. I can't remember the quote, Spencer.
What you keep saying?
Too much.
Yeah,
It's
they're
too
doing
much.
too much.
It's too much.
You said that there's 40 girls in the show. You said that about probably 40, but I can remember at least 39 of them.
I'm just not into those stupid little bits.
Not all of them did stupid bits though. They avoided doing bits for a significant portion of them.
Oh, the first 6 or 7.
Well,
yeah.
they held off doing the bits for the whole bunch, and I think I might have even tweeted and been like, "These girls are way too normal. This is the calm before the storm."
I didn't like it whenever I mean, I loved it after they started doing the bits. I find it fun, and it's also a way to make sure you're sticking around for round 2 if you don't get. Anyone that's seen the show, I'm sure some of these girls have seen the show before.
Oh,
obviously,
no,
all of them probably.
I would assume that all of them have.
Yeah, I'm just instead of
sure,
an
even
outlier,
the girl from Ethiopia probably has.
Exactly, and so
she applied.
What I'm saying is that you need to everyone that has a gimmick tends to stay as long as it's it's not completely out of the ordinary. But I mean, you were having a problem with the girl that came in lingerie.
All right, so disclaimer. I don't watch a ton of reality TV shows. I watched most of The Bachelorette with these guys last couple weeks ago.
He's a virgin, if you will.
I'm a virgin. So when I'm watching the show, I'm just thinking in my head, oh, what would I like? But I know it's a little bit different with this show. It gets a little wild.
That girl isn't wearing a corset playing a trumpet. I don't like her.
Is that what she calls a C sharp? How
oh
dare
my God,
she?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she's not old-fashioned enough for you, Spencer. She's not back in the kitchen, is she, Spencer?
What? I have never, ever.
She's not a good homemaking wife.
I have never, ever expressed that kind of.
Spit it out.
Spit it out. I've never, ever asked a girl to do shit.
Good.
Like that.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Just because I don't like it when someone rides up on a fucking chair.
I love that Aladdin look. That
I was gonna say, man, we are off to a hot start.
I'm like, if a woman came bearing, she has 4 decently attractive men who look buff carrying her to me, I'd feel pretty good.
Those poor fucking interns.
I know,
They
right?
didn't sign up for that.
Their eyes looked
They're
dead
wearing
because they
the
had to wear the
mask.
mask.
Well, the thing is that obviously anyone on that show, you don't really hire extras because you have to quarantine them for 2 weeks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
just whoever was around
all those
set.
people. All those people are probably people that are set builders and tech guys, audio techs.
Didn't make
just
the show.
happen to have some muscles.
Never asked
Yeah.
a tech person to go on camera.
You can go carry 120-pound queen.
Yeah, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
guys are.
yeah.
Oh, that was I think the gimmicks. I really enjoyed this episode.
I mean, there was that gimmick. There was the Kit. Kit is the rich girl who looks like the Queen's Gambit. Or
So here. No.
Yeah.
So wait. Oh, sorry. The Queen's Gambit. Sorry, they were saying the Queen.
No,
who's
the
a
Queen-
separate woman.
Queen
get to
Queen
that.
Victoria is the one who came up wearing a tiara on a throne.
Yes. What I was gonna say was, I think out of everyone, I like not their personality, but what they could probably bring to the show, like drama, emotional highs and lows. I
Yeah.
think Kit is probably one of my favorite ones I'm gonna be looking out for, just because like the youth. She said she was like a fashion entrepreneur.
She's 21 years
She's
old.
21. She's already taking digs at people.
Was
It's
she
great.
the one in the feather dress?
Yeah,
Yes.
she was wearing like the flapper dress,
Probably
with
her own dress.
with those horrendous black boots, honey.
I
Mm.
thought those boots were great, but
Here we are.
There we
differing
are,
once
and
again.
and we're learning more. But yeah, the interesting part about all the intros. I mean, were there any other really interesting, significant intros?
I know one that like I can side with Spencer. I didn't really like was like the goat feed. Like it was weird.
I didn't even catch that. I was too busy rattling off hot tweets.
Yeah, I get that you were
you
not.
so proud of your tweets.
Um,
right now.
My
Oh,
tweets were hot tonight.
and
My
we
tweets are great.
We should also mention we're
At
talking about the
Reality
bad
Wagon.
and the good ones. Yes, at Reality Wagon. If we're talking about the good ones, the vibrator one was hilarious. to me.
Okay,
They drew it out
Because
too
you
much.
were saying it like the guy who had to draw the sensor box was having a heck of a time when she was like waving it around.
so like making a sensor box like that like isn't really like doing like the actual tracking of it and stuff like that. I don't think it's very easy. Like I've tried to do some like sensor like light sensor stuff before, and it's not that easy to do on like a still image or like a small video with very little movement.
it is
When she was like waving the dildo around all willy nilly here and there, that's not easy. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
that is why he gets paid. That was probably a highlight of all the shticks they were doing and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because she kept using it on stuff, and she was like two-hand grabbing it and like gave it to him, and he grabbed it with his hand, and she was giving it to other people,
was
and they were touching
clean.
it. She was like touching people with like the tip end. And I was
yeah.
like,
Oh, whenever she banged the glass, like
yeah, she was,
cheers.
like, banging the glass. I was
Like,
like,
dip
you
it on in there.
just
It made a
gave-
very loud
Well,
noise.
let's be
when
honest. It gives it some extra flavor if it wasn't washed. Yeah, gives it some characteristic. I'm just saying.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, we'll leave that. We'll let that simmer. I love a good pregnant pause.
There's pregnant pause.
That's what it's called.
Is that what that's called?
That's what
I've
it's
ne-
called in
I've
the biz.
al-
You're clearly new to this. That's what it's called.
I'm
in the biz.
clearly have not been doing this for half a year.
It's called a pregnant pause. Is when a pause just lingers for a really long time.
That was called awkward pause.
In the biz,
Oh, in the biz.
in the biz, it's called a pregnant pause.
In the
Okay.
biz.
I like Matt James. Go
Yes.
ahead. I'll be a pariah. I'll be the only one to like Matt James.
Yes.
He is too perfect, and it's at this point frustrating.
It's gonna collapse.
No, it won't. No, I don't think he has like a real flaw.
This isn't a Tasha moment. They're gonna.
I'm not in love with Matt James. I do not want to have sex with Matt James.
I'm not. No.
If
What,
he wants to have sex with me, I'll consider.
it's a weird that you automatically assumed I was talking about you having intercourse with him.
I'm
was
not gonna even have intercourse with him. I don't even know him, dude. But like, if he wants to like take me out, I could let him.
Jumped into that real quick, bud.
No, I mean, if he wants to go ahead, I'm sure he's a great host. And listen, I wouldn't do anything for any sort of money, but I mean, I don't even know if he'd offer me money. I think he'd just offer me a good time.
We can see how quickly he's getting over Tasha for Matt James.
No, I will never,
Unbelievable.
dude. Tasha, I still follow her on Instagram and Twitter.
Still hit her up on DM every day until you get blocked.
I would never harass Tasha. If I get blocked by Tasha, that's an issue. If I get blocked, like my goal,
I think you'd be into it.
what'd you say?
I think you'd be into it.
To
Knowing
get
you.
blocked by
I feel
Tasha?
like
To get blocked by my true love.
He wouldn't
Listen,
leave his
I
apartment for a
he'd
week.
find it as motivation. He'd
No.
be like, "Oh wow, this means I have to go see her in person."
No,
'cause
no,
she doesn't want to do it over line.
No, because I don't handle rejection like that. I handle rejection horribly. I don't handle it with determination. I handle rejection and
How
go
could she do this to me?
a
More
lot of
despair.
that, but also it's mostly self-hating.
Fair.
It's usually I take a very self-loathing approach to rejection. So if Tasha ever blocked me, which I really hope she doesn't, Tasha, listen, it's all in good fun. I really do love you, but like don't listen to that part. Don't look at my tweets like that. Look at it all with more of an appreciative lens and be like, oh hey, he really admires me, which I do. Matt's a football player. He went to Wake Forest.
Big boy.
Tall gentleman. Tall
Very.
drink of water.
Very. Which is why I'm saying he's going. They're building that narrative.
He's
You always
got,
thought-
he's got kind eyes too.
He's gonna be dunking on people at some point. this
exactly.
season.
He
Yeah.
They're building a narrative to bring him down. He has to come down from his ivory tower at some point.
They showed a picture of this dude in high school. He literally looked like Dr. fucking J.
Yeah, he was a big dude. He's like super ripped. oh my god, chiseled. And I feel like every time I was saying that, oh my god, he's ripped and I want his body. That was pretty much all I said about everyone who was on The Bachelor.
Yeah,
And pretty
Bachelorette.
much Bachelorette, and that's pretty much all that I say about anyone who was on like Big Brother too, is I just sort of admire the male figure. Listen, I'm not too straight to go ahead and not and just bite my tongue when it comes to when I see a good male body, I'm gonna let that dude know.
Of course.
I'm gonna tweet at him and say, "Hey, bro, nice traps.
Bros gotta look
I see
after
that
each other.
work that you've been putting in."
Men compliment men more than women compliment men. That's just how it goes.
And this is what we've said it once. We'll say it again. We'll say it after this, and we'll say it forever. Is that men need more compliments? Listen, I'll say it because it's the men compliment men train. All
Yes.
aboard. We're trying to keep this thing moving
Of course.
because listen, I know a lot of very handsome, charming, smart, funny men in my life, and all of them, almost all of them, except for the delusional ones, deal with self-esteem issues.
Delusional one.
Delusional ones.
It's not delusion if it's true.
Everyone I know, every dude I know deals with self-esteem issues in some way or another, and some of them let it out other ways than it isn't always something where it's like, oh man, I feel down about myself. I don't really like the way I look today. I look a
Like
little fat.
building
or
a
whatever.
personality around milk.
I think we're directing these attacks at Andrew where that's not where I was going, but I understand what you're saying, and I'll call it out. Listen, Andrew's personality is a lot deeper than milk, but I would say it's very milk based.
Yes,
It's a milk
I can
base.
agree.
It's a milk base, much
it's
like
very
a chowder.
It's very milk based. It's not centered around milk. What was I saying before that?
The way people deal with self-esteem. is
yeah.
different.
But here, so like when you talk about men that are like, and that's how I say like a lot about self-esteem issues is like, I go out with someone like my like cockier, like I'll call them what they are, and they'd probably admit it, like my douchier friends, and they would come off as super like not like they really self-confident and stuff like that until like something happens that makes them uncomfortable, or they get like out alphaed, or they like get rejected or something like that in front of everybody else, and that's when they just like crumble and they're like, oh okay, yeah, that person has self-esteem issues.
Yeah, it's just a lack of confidence in oneself, where you just gotta have it everywhere.
Yeah, I
It's just, yeah, no, I wasn't directing that at you either.
it's like you can take your pot shots back. I'll allow it.
I don't even need to take shots. I'm that confident in myself, and it's just, I see what you're talking about, and where you kind of guide that towards like the guys with like self-esteem will sometimes direct it towards their body, where like they'll try and better themselves and they'll do all the physical stuff right, but mentally, emotionally, they're still not completely there. Like we saw on the Bachelorette.
Yeah. Well, it's like I see it sometimes like when I'm around people and stuff like that, because like I talk a lot. Go figure. The dude with the podcast talks a lot. But if I'm around some of my friends that are just like really like whatever, like wicked alpha, like overly whatever, and I'm like funnier than them, they don't like that.
No.
It's kind of the only thing I got is I'm funny sometimes. So
I'll take you a long way, bud.
I'm gonna flex it.
Yeah.
I'll flex it if I can.
You gotta flaunt what you got.
Really, I'm not gonna flaunt my height.
No, not I can't do that.
I'm not flaunting my height.
Spencer can do that.
Yeah, all right, Spencer. Yeah, that's it. Beat your chest, pal. So, but I like I said, I am going to find, because I'm excellent at this, and then I love to tear people up. I also do like to identify their flaws, so I could tear them down if I wanted to.
Yeah, of course.
I will find Matt's flaw. Right?
I mean, they'll probably give it to you
They're
on a
not gonna
silver
give
platter.
it to you. That's not how the show works.
There literally was a preview of him having like an emotional breakdown.
Hey, pal, you just watched The Bachelorette, right? Did Tayshia have a single flaw that they presented? I have a question, and I'm saying this objectively, not me being like no, Tayshia's flawless. I'm telling you, did they present Tayshia in a single negative light one time?
I mean, they didn't do it for Tayshia; they did it for Claire.
I'm talking about Tayshia.
But it's on the same season.
What was Claire's flaw?
Claire's flaw was like
That she was obsessed with Dale from day one.
No,
That's not a flaw.
no,
That's not a flaw.
that wasn't even what I was gonna say. Were you
What were
gonna
you
ask?
gonna say?
With Tayshia, I think her biggest flaw was just that, like, I don't know. It seemed like she had a lot of doubt, just kind of in general. But I mean, she obviously handled that. She found the guy. she did a thing.
I think I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, like she had like doubt. She was
Who she's
cautious
gonna
about
choose.
getting
Well,
married.
like she had a guy that
cold
like
feet or
cheated on her,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
that was the thing.
But that's not a flaw. Like what I'm saying
But
is
that
like
can create flaws.
like if you're saying that like someone has like a mortal flaw like vanity or whatever, so anything like that. Like, does Matt have any of that?
Well, okay, I should have asked this first. What do you typically? What would you define as like a flaw worthy of being a flaw in this regard? You know what I mean?
I think if he was, and Matt is like none of these things so far. This is just me speculating. So obviously, don't take any of this out of context, please God. Is that like if Matt was like dumb, I'd say that's a flaw. I'd say
Okay.
if Matt was like emotionally weak, I'd say that's a flaw. If he was
I
unable
could see
to
him being emotionally weak.
I don't know though. But it's like if he was unable to like open up, not even like unable to open up, but like cold or like shuts down. Shutting down's a flaw.
Yeah.
Yours truly, right here,
Mhm.
flawed. Love shutting
Anything
down.
goes right. Just
No, I love a good shutdown. Nothing like shutting down and upsetting the person that's.
We have to wait and see, until it gets a little deeper in, when he has to start like actually making real emotional connections with these people before that happens. So
yeah. So here's the thing. To say what you were asking, Tasha to me didn't really have any flaw that I would say would be counted as what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying,
like
she
a
was
red
also
flag level flaws.
like
that
a
we're
red
talking about?
flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I think she also. I think because she was a backup, she wasn't like the main. Like Claire, I feel like had more personal flaws where it was worth mentioning, like her issues with like trust and just a ton of
Did
things.
Claire have trust issues?
She did at the start, like with some of the guys. She was like,
she trusted that dude too much.
no, I mean, Dale and her are still together, I think.
They're engaged.
But I just think with her there was a lot of like red flags in terms of like I could go back and listen to our podcast. I can't name them all off the top of my head. I know Tasha didn't really have any.
Yeah.
But I think that what they're going for is to set this narrative where it's like the first episode, they're never going to show a true flaw about someone. They're going to try and set the narrative for like the bachelorettes or the bachelor people, depending on the show you're watching, to say, oh, I can't wait to watch what Kit does or Queen Victoria does now that they're around. And speaking of Kit, also, not to get too off topic, I just looked up how much her hoodies are for very basic designs, $150 to $180.
She's a designer entrepreneur.
It's literally hername.com.
She mentioned
KitKeenan.com.
She mentioned it a couple
So
times.
KitKeenan.com.
KitKeenan.com.
That is a free plug. Please give us some merch.
Yeah,
I'll wear your merch on the podcast. Oh my god.
absolutely.
I'm a
wear
fashion guy.
A Kit Keenan hoodie.
I'll wear what is it?
I like their fashion choices.
A
I'd wear
generic
shit.
rainbow.
Let me see
Hell
that.
yeah.
Let me see that.
Yeah, you can scroll up for all the
Let me
designs,
see what
but
she's got.
That's a hot hoodie.
yeah, but I'm curious to see what if they even show his flaws. I think they have to at least show some like doubt or some emotional thing going on. You know what I mean?
They might, but I honestly think. Also, I would say the way that they have basically propped him up in during all of the promotion and everything like that all the way through has been in a way where, I mean, this is beyond what I even thought. Like I said, we were talking about this before. It's like we watching The Bachelorette the last time was the first. That's the first full season of The Bachelorette I've ever seen,
Same.
and it's probably the second time I've even seen any episodes of The Bachelorette in a season. With this season, though, watching The Bachelorette, this is a very special, specific circumstance where he's on his own. Like, he's never been on The Bachelor.
That's true.
So, usually, to be The Bachelor, you have to be on The Bachelorette. And to be on The Bachelorette, to be The Bachelorette, you have to be on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
As a contestant, usually. Now, they have it set up so he was supposed to be on the Claire season. So the first part of the Tasha season last year. So I guess they talked about coronavirus. Something happened with Corona, and they just fast passed him up to being the Bachelor.
Yeah.
So he had never met Chris. They did a fireside chat thing beforehand where he was just like, "What is the Bachelor?" And Chris was like, "It's like, all right, I'll give you."
Oh, he's like the David of the Bachelor.
Yeah. Right.
I love this.
Right.
He's like, so is there a veto power here?
So what is Big Brother? You're like, you were on it last season. You're technically an all-star.
Come on. And yeah, I see what you're saying. He's also, as they were publicizing a lot during that episode, he's the first black bachelor, I believe.
Yeah,
is what he
first,
said.
first black bachelor.
So he's the first black bachelor, and he's also the first one to have never been on a. It was also included, I think, Bachelor in Paradise or
Yeah.
Bachelor in Paris, all those other
Yeah,
shows
it was
as
all
well.
of them.
And so you could be onto something there. Whereas they really want him to succeed, and I think him not being on, I can't say this because I haven't watched any of the previous seasons in relation to like who goes on to be Bachelor, who gets on the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Those ones they might have cherry picked where they have some flaws. And they have but they have mostly great qualities. You know what I mean? To be
Usually,
The
Like
boy
Claire.
seems
No, no.
absolutely divine.
like Claire. Claire was on for 2 or 3 seasons, and they picked her to be a
that
Bachelorette.
doesn't mean she's flawed.
She had flaws, though. No, not flawed. She has flaws.
No, but
she's also a good person.
So I know a couple of the bachelors and bachelorettes from like the bits and pieces of old seasons that I've watched and stuff like that, and certain recaps I've seen. Like Jarvis Johnson does a recap of the Bachelor and the Bachelorette like every year, like a comedic spin on it. So it's a good substitute to binge watching the Bachelorette because you'd be a psychopath to binge watch the Bachelorette, regardless. The main aspect they go for is like a fan favorite.
well, yeah.
So they'll go and they'll watch like they chose pilot Pete to be the last Bachelor before Matt this year, and Pete was like the final 3 in the Hannah Brown season, and like people loved him.
Yeah, no, I don't think it could not be a fan favorite stuff. What I'm saying is, I just feel as though, given what we know about the divorce rates after the show, they still are flawed people, as they might be showing it. Like, I haven't seen 20 seasons.
Dude, literally
of The Bachelor.
everyone has a flaw. What I'm saying is, why would, and this is a question, I'll leave it up to you and maybe open debate. Why would ABC air them as a flawed person?
It's good TV to watch. I mean,
Well,
they literally
to make the rest of the people are supposed to create the
Oh,
drama.
no,
The
hold
drama's
on.
supposed to be created by 38 women
Let me
that are
say
fighting
this.
for
No,
one
no,
dude.
let me say this. They'll never like edit it to be that way, but you can kind of piece together, that they might not be the best person.
I mean, I don't know how they cast this shit, but like you'd want someone to be flawed just because, it's easier for like fucking jamokes like us to be like, oh, I could see myself in that guy,
They've done such a good job of making it so no jamoke can look at themselves and see themselves as Matt. Like,
Yeah, but even if it's just a little bit, like I've been there before.
Spencer, you're a lovely human. You're a great guy. You're gonna find yourself a lovely partner one day. And I say this honestly, and I say this with no disrespect.
I'm not saying I'm cut
What-
like him, but
I'm saying, what aspects of Matt do you see in yourself?
well, he talked a lot about how he struggled with, like, so my parents aren't divorced, but like he talked a lot about how growing up in a single parent household, like he's just struggled with connection, and like a lot of people can feel that even if you're not, like buff and stuff.
You just completely undermined my entire argument.
I was everything that was very good.
Everything I've said for the last 10 minutes is completely undermined.
Thank
and
you,
all
Spencer.
it took was you reminding me of when he was talking about, like, oh, I've never loved somebody before. That's literally something he said. I completely forgot that he did that. Spencer, I'm not going to mention your last name. Spencer, and congratulations. You just completely shot holes in my argument. And I'm not one to admit that I'm wrong hardly ever. Let's make that one of my dozen or so flaws.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow you up on my.
No,
first
it's all right.
episode.
Listen, you did it. No, listen. That's why we brought you on, as voice of reason.
I like the assist on that one. He can get the points. I would like the assist at least.
For what? What
that
did-
was
what was
ISO,
what was
bud.
your
That
what
was
was your
ISO.
assist?
My
That
assist
was
was
ISO.
leading 10 minutes of that conversation.
Your
just
assist-
for him to slam
Time
dunk
out.
in your ass and make it a
No,
poster.
because if you wanted to actually take me out, you would have just mentioned the
That was-
exact thing that he
no,
did.
no, no,
That
I
was-
was leading into Spencer.
You were not. It was a 10-minute lead in,
That-
and just like begging Spencer to come in and just grab the rebound
That
on
wasn't
it.
an assist.
Yeah.
It was more like a pick play. Like you just kind of like gave me a little bit of time so I could.
I'm
pick
like a
something up in
pick
my
and roll
brain.
where you don't pass me, you just slam dunk and
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Yes, I'll gladly
ISO,
accept that
baby.
role.
God. I'm hardly ever proven wrong on my own broadcast.
Broadcast. Yes.
Did I say broadcast?
You most certainly did.
I see now I'm all
I'm the one that got,
flustered.
I'm the one that
Could
got my
broadcast
physical
you to
today.
MJ.
Now I'm all flustered.
MJ the dildo.
We're getting right into the dildo talk. Yeah, the dildo's name was MJ.
Was it a vibrator or a dildo?
It was
or
a
both?
vibrator.
It,
I mean,
it vibrated. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't a.
It's like squares and rectangles,
Yeah. Yes.
but it is a vibrator.
Say all dildos, all vibrators are dildos. Not all dildos are vibrators.
You know,
not
now,
all dildos.
Well, but
no.
now that I say that,
not all
no,
dildos
it's not.
vibrate.
But not all
No,
vibrators
sorry,
are
no,
meant
the
to
other way,
go-
but even
to go in.
Even
vibrators-
vibrators aren't all dildos.
No, that's what I was about to point out. Was that I
Mm.
thought it was that, but then I thought vibrators can just be external. You know.
Hmm.
Interesting.
That's why I
If
was,
we have any female listeners, please explain to us the difference.
Uh,
I've never
Hitachi
seen a
One.
vagina
I
before.
just told you.
Hitachi One would be one.
The vibrator
what?
vibrates.
Hitachi One.
I thought you
would
said
be
I've
one.
touched one before.
I have touched a
I
vibrator
have touched
before.
one before as well.
You've met me before.
I've never touched either. I don't
You've never been with a
That's so
female that
interesting.
used them?
Didn't have to. I was by myself. Never met a woman. Should have been like, "What's a female?"
I love how you just said that so surprisingly, yet I'm so open to this about, like, I've only told you this before. Like, probably more than
Actually,
once.
I shouldn't have looked surprised at you. Not even that I should have looked surprised at you. I think I'm the odd one that I've never caressed a dildo before.
I did not
mean,
say that.
I
but
don't
Maybe
I
I'm
don't
the, maybe,
own them.
maybe I'm the weird one for not holding it and keeping one on my bedside table.
Do you not give one to your females whenever you first meet them, like she did?
I say maybe.
It's a power move.
Yeah, it's a good
well,
point.
she gave
Wait,
him
that
the vibrator.
is a
What the
power
fuck's he
move.
gonna use it for?
She didn't give him the vibrator. She's like, "I'm using this until you dick me down, bro."
Oh, okay, I get it.
That was verbatim actually.
So if
she said that.
Is
Yeah.
that what he said?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if what we go off of that is true, if we, kind of extrapolate that a bit. So if you go on a first date, and you're a man going on a date with a woman, give them a fleshlight.
Listen, if you're bringing the
It's the opposite.
battery operated
give
stuff
them a
in on the
fleshlight?
first date,
Yes,
that's
because
bad-
no,
that's
give it and
bad
then take it
news.
back. Like,
Be like,
this is
what I use every night.
until I get you.
It's covered in
various
spunk.
yes,
Fluids.
There you go. Oh, so that'd be
Don't
such
bring
a-
in the battery stuff on the first date. That's bad. That's a red flag.
Did you say battery stuff?
So if it's manual,
If
it's
it's
okay.
got a yeah, if it's manual, like go for it, whatever.
Yeah, get a good, nice arm.
You don't want the
workout in.
battery op stuff on the first date.
Don't bring your modded fleshlight.
I'm modded like my Xbox 360 controller.
I'm gonna have to. You gotta when you talk loud. You gotta move away from the mic.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
sorry.
edit that down. No worries. I heard the clipping in
Yeah,
both of my
I-
headphones. I was like,
I was such a rip by now.
yeah.
I was
like,
switched for headphones.
yeah.
Like, oh, I don't
You
have
can
those.
talk loud, just like talk like loud from
Yeah.
over here.
Okay, I got it.
The
I was gonna say it's like instead of pimp my ride, it's pimp my dildo, like shit like that. Pimp my toy. That's what it should have been. What the hell was his name? Little something.
what
What was his name? That was in Pimp My Ride.
exhibit?
Exhibit. There we go.
Lil something? No, they're not all Lil somethings. Some of them have other names.
Oh, what do you mean by they?
What do you mean by calling him Lil?
I thought his name was Lil
Oh
something.
boy,
I
I'm in
don't
the middle
know.
of something I don't want to
You
be.
said they. What are you talking about?
That was the joke that you were assuming that all rappers are the same.
Good save.
That isn't a good save for me. I was saving you on that one. I could have left you out to dry.
said rappers.
No, I could have left you out to dry, and you know it.
No one was saved.
Who do we meet else in this episode? That dildo just kept making an appearance all the time. It took up a lot of screen
It
time.
was
I
overdone,
I
think.
hope it keeps up with it. It's a weekly thing.
Too much dildo.
So yeah, Kit was like super rich or whatever, but like raised in New York City or
I
whatever.
looked at her hoodies. They're not that cool.
I don't know. I'd probably rep one. I would. I think actually, Kit. I do think they are really cool, and I would love to wear one on the podcast.
Yes, she does have 50,000.
Make something cooler.
Spencer, stop. I would love to wear your hoodies, and also if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. Like
She has a
Like,
podcast.
she has a podcast.
Yeah, I think it's called Ageless.
You can debate fashion with me.
She won't, and she doesn't want to. We're gonna do a little bit of cross promotion, her and I. I'll hit her up.
Sounds
I'll be like, hey, do you want to be on a podcast that
I
has 10 unique listeners?
I genuinely
Talk
think,
about growing your brand, kid.
I genuinely think she's gonna be like a top 3 favorite of the season for me. I'm not sure how far she's gonna get, but I
Like
think
a
she's
favorite to win.
No, not a favorite to win. Like
Favorite to watch.
She
Okay,
gave me
yeah,
some real
yeah.
start some shit vibes.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think that, and I just think I mean, even she was even proclaiming. She's like, "I'm the CEO. I'm the king," or whatever.
She was saying that because of the what?
Showed up in a
'cause
Bentley.
because the Queen Victoria showed up like right after,
No, I know, but I was just
and
saying.
then after she like injected in their conversation or whatever,
I
she
like
came
that
back out and
confidence.
she's like, "I'm the president. I'm the king. I'm the CEO," and it's like, all right.
Did she say that twice, or did they just?
She said
cut
that
it
So
to a
she
commercial?
said it once in the DR. So she said it once in the dining room, like speaking to the camera, and then she said it once to the girls in the big group. My guess is that she said it in the group of the girls, and then when the DR, like in the DR, they ask you questions, so it'll basically be just like a camera, and the girls aren't
Right.
speaking unprompted usually. It's usually
Mhm.
people like talking to them, be like, "Hey, what'd you think about this one situation with Barbara?" They'll be like, "Well, Barbara was a fucking slut." Like they'll just like they don't say that out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
They're prompted.
Okay.
I'm sure Barbara's lovely. They had but yeah, Queen Victoria came in. Tiara carried by 4 interns, muscular interns, very muscular interns.
Wear a mask.
Got off. She curtsy? No, queens don't curtsy. Do queens curtsy?
No, they get curtsy.
They get
too.
curtsy.
Get
too.
curtsy too.
Yeah. She's like, she said, but she made a fatal flaw. Because as a lover of all things royalty and royal family, she was like, "I'll make you my king." That's not how that works.
Mm-mm.
Queens don't make kings when they marry a dude. Kings are just dudes that are in the family.
Do you know what it's technically called?
What
Like
do you
what?
mean?
Like what? Prince Philip.
Prince.
They're
Regent,
a duke.
Right?
It's royal consort.
Royal consort.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if you ever like Prince Philip is like king consort. So that way, if the Queen Elizabeth dies, I don't even think it goes to
Nope,
their
it goes
firstborn.
goes to the firstborn.
Goes
Yeah.
to Chucky.
Oh, that's right, dude. He is
Who?
old. Charlie,
He's
Charles?
71.
Yeah.
Charles
Prince Charles.
Prince Charles.
He isn't the one that was on the Bill Clinton plane, was he?
He's still alive. I don't
No,
Bill
who was
Clinton playing.
who was the one that?
Oh no, Prince Andrew.
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 Yes.
Andrew.
What a
You know,
terrible
he's-
name.
I
I want to disassociate with the name right now.
I don't know a single Andrew that I enjoy podcasting with, enjoy working out with,
Mm-mm.
enjoy.
Working out with.
I work out with another kid named Andrew.
Oh, I was like, hold on.
No, I hate all Andrews, and
live
I
with one.
especially
It sucks.
hate the Andrews that are pedophiles. Those are my least favorite.
Don't look at Prince Andrew. I don't have a poster in him.
There's only one Andrew in the room.
Correct.
That is correct.
Yes.
But yeah, so she came in, made a whole big scene, and frankly, no, maybe I don't say it. Oh, no, fuck it, I'll say it. I don't think she's hot enough to act that way.
Okay.
I want that on the record.
I knew you said it during the episode, and I was like, I mean,
It's not that offensive.
it's not that offensive.
She's really rude,
She is very rude.
and I think it's my job as a man to bring her down, to tear her down.
Yes. I think the fact that they also labeled her occupation as queen makes me think that she has nothing going on outside of.
I mean, well,
Like,
not
yeah,
even that. I mean, that's
Well, I
just,
meant-
that's just a running joke.
I don't even know what she does though.
I mean,
actually-
her occupation isn't queen.
No, that was what I'm saying is like she might just be, unemployed or something like that. I don't know. No
No offense
Disrespect
if you're
to that.
unemployed. You're also a queen. All
Yes.
my unemployed queens out there. All my welfare queens out there.
Queen Elizabeth is pretty much unemployed.
Who is?
Oh,
Queen Elizabeth, what does she do?
The royal family is
She
unemployed.
just like sits in a train and gets fed.
why does it have to be a train?
She has,
It
or
could
no,
also be a private
she,
plane.
she lost her personal train. She was sad about it. I think
Maybe, I don't know.
because she has like a private boat, a private train.
Having a private
plane.
train is so dumb because there's no such thing as private rails.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but if you're the Queen of England, they'll let you through. You know?
But what do you? No, you don't have.
They'll let you through.
They don't.
All right, fine, we'll let the
okay, fine.
queen.
Bring her on through.
But you're gonna
She's
get-
the queen.
We
She.
have some coal on here,
Yeah,
You
but
know,
fine.
they'll make the London Overground a little late so the Queen can get through. You know.
They don't. Do you know how trains work? There's one set of tracks, dude. Like you can't like. There's train traffic is
Yeah, but I bet
because a whole
she-
bunch of trains are in a row.
I bet she gets dibs.
I'm sure she gets dibs. I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, listen. I guess you have all that money. You could just have your own train.
We might have people that are cold
She did have a
without all
private
this
train.
fuel, but Queen, you go ahead.
No, you-
Did she had a private train at some point?
All right, listen, I'm happy for her. I think a private train is something that maybe you have when you're like, wait, also, why do you need a private train? You're one person. That's What are you carrying in
she's-
the other
She's
cars?
the Queen of England.
What I'm saying is, trains are meant for transporting a lot of people.
I mean, she could
You-
probably
you're a
bring
private-
Let's also say this. Some people have like Boeing 747 as private jets, and those are meant for a lot of people. But they are
but like, fine, but that's fine. But I'm talking about like in any capacity, a private plane, you can get like a miniaturized private plane. That's just for you and a
can't do
small
that with
people.
a train.
You cannot have a small personal private train with just like you and the conductor.
She's the Queen of England. I'm pretty sure she likes the opulence of having something that's too big for her.
She can just ride in like a normal train.
Whoa, that's peasants.
First
She's
class,
not gonna ride
and
that
associated
over
with all those dirty
us.
pores. They might get some pour on her.
Yeah,
they might cover her in peasantry.
You
There
ever
might
seen
be
her
football
address them during
fans on
Christmas? She's thinking, "Who am I talking to? I'm the
Yeah.
queen. These
Yeah.
people don't deserve me."
God, the whole concept of queens and kings is in like old royal, like feudal
It's not even
times is so interesting to me.
Cuz nuts.
in terms of like how it is today or back then.
Kind of all of it, or how it even
It's-
still exists in
it's
any
not that
capacity
different.
today.
Yeah. Huh?
It is very different.
They
What are
don't
you
have
talking about?
any
They
power.
don't run empires.
Well, it's been
They
the
don't
s-
have any power.
It's been the
They-
same.
yeah,
I mean, they
since-
technically do. Like the Queen of England, I think can veto any law created by British Parliament, but
Well,
that's it.
I don't
She-
think she's
and
ever done
She
it.
never does.
Yeah.
She's not gonna.
It's been the same in England since like the early 1800s.
Yeah, but what we're
Well,
saying
the
is
English royal family is they're all Germans.
right.
It's like the German.
Saxe
They're like
Go-
the
Goldberg? I don't know how to
Schweinschwelters or something like that
Saxe
came over
Goldberg.
from.
yeah, whatever those German
They
names
changed the
are.
name during
Who's
World
he?
War
What's
One
actually interestingly enough,
to Windsor.
their original name was Hitler. They changed it in 1944.
Well, yeah. We changed the name.
Well, the,
We used to be the Hitlers, now we are the Windsors.
well, the Kaiser during
World War One.
World War One was Queen
Wilhelm.
Victoria's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Grandson.
Well, no,
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Well, they're all related. Like all the royal families over there are all related, and that's
was
why
at
they
a-
Keep
all.
the bloodline pure.
That's why they all look so weird.
That's why they.
That's why. That's why.
That's why that Spanish
who's,
dude
that's why
was
Prince.
born with no
who's
dick.
the who's the
Look it
male
up.
one?
Prince Phillips. Her,
No, well, the youngest son, the oldest son.
Prince
the-
Charles.
No, William married Kate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why William lost his hairline at 18.
Oh yeah. It's just the concept of royalty now because they don't do anything and they just waste money. Like it's just a symbol thing.
They don't contribute to the economy.
No.
Literally nothing.
I think
They're
in
a
a terms
symbol.
of tourism, yes, but you could do that if they didn't have
you
someone
could just
living
have
in there.
them be old palaces.
Exactly.
Like we have old relics of major things still in the
Mhm.
U.S., like old houses and stuff like that no one lives in anymore.
Yeah,
They're
could you
just
could you imagine
historical
like
events.
back in like the old days, like you could be born a king or a queen or a prince or whatever, but you actually have responsibility. Nowadays, you're just rich
Oh, yeah,
from
you
birth.
had to like lead your country into war.
Yeah. Or defend it or like be like, oh fine, I gotta do this policy now. Now you're just like, where is my croissant?
Yeah. Where is my croissant?
Exactly. And then someone, a butler, gets it. Also, a butler is there for you.
Well,
You know-
they have butlers now.
no, I know, but I'm saying like,
They had butlers then.
no, I get it. Yeah,
They were just poor people.
Got those
Yeah.
dudes in the big fluffy hats. The
They were
beef eaters.
just poor people trying to come in from the rain.
yeah, they didn't go to butler school like they do now.
They go to Butler School.
They do go to butler
Oh
school.
my god.
There's for sure butler school.
Oh, there is. Even like Conan did a brief like stint at one. Or
That's-
not
No,
like
he
a,
went,
not,
did he go to a? He went to no Conan. One of my favorite Conan things is he went to a. It's like a gentleman's school,
yeah, well,
was
you
like
gotta be a gentleman.
or it was like
I've
a
seen
it's
that
like
one.
a southern class school or something like that.
Mhm.
That was
I
really
know
good.
exactly which one you're talking
Dude, I
about.
love Conan so much.
Oh,
He's from
same.
this town.
He's from Brookline.
Yeah.
He gave the what's the speech? Commencement at Brookline High a couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't even know who gave my commencement. No one.
I don't think anyone did on mine.
Yeah.
Commencement for high school? My high
Yeah.
school was
Well,
not.
no, it was like a special whatever. Brookline has a lot of rich people.
I could kind of tell. Yeah,
We had a
old
kid-
money.
From our school, give a commencement speech.
Like the
Are you talking about the valedictorian
valedictorian
speech?
speech?
No,
I would
like
hope a kid from
no,
your
no,
own
no.
school
Someone who
did that.
graduated years before.
someone submitted it from. The
Oh
school.
yeah. No. We had one of those too. Wasn't that,
That
good?
was the commencement.
I was
ours
falling
actually
asleep in
very
mine.
good, but-
Oh yeah, fellas. Mine was in the gym. Yeah, I could have easily fallen asleep in mine.
Ours had a drone hovering over ours.
Why?
Okay.
Video record it.
Oh, that's cool.
But you could hear the sound of it going constantly. So just slight
Just-
buzz in
Just do, like,
everything.
bzzz.
My
Exactly. No, that's what it was. Because it would try and get like the swoop thing.
If only it crashed into you.
I was hoping. I'm like, I hope that dies, and it just comes plummets right over.
There's nothing funnier than a drone falling out of the sky and just like the limp, like it lands because it's super light plastic. It's plastic and mechanical equipment. When it just like falls, hits the ground, just goes like,
Yeah.
and then it's just done. It's like a drone. Like I want to watch a compilation of drones falling out of the sky.
Oh man.
I was at my sister's graduation this year from high school, and that was dystopian.
Really?
Because it was like the first thing, like they held it. It was in, she graduated in like May, right? But they didn't hold it until it was after my roommate had moved in. Right after my roommate had moved in.
July?
August, September. And like all the kids were like, some of them had already like commissioned into the military. So some of them were like at military training and stuff like that, and like never got like, or they got their diplomas early or something like that. But like all the kids marched up like perfectly 6 feet apart, all wearing masks, all wearing the same stuff, sitting like 6 feet apart,
Yeah.
like across an entire football field. I was like, this is really weird. They were like sanitizing every diploma before they gave it out. They were like spraying it down with Lysol. Like, this is bizarre.
I kind of, that is so dystopian. I kind of like that I didn't have to go to graduation for college.
Yeah, ditto.
Are they not holding?
So here's
Did they do a virtual one for you?
So here's what they did. They didn't do virtual. What they did was, all right, we're gonna cancel one in May or June, or wherever mine was, and we're gonna hold it in like October of this year. But I'm like, I'm 6 months graduate at that point. I have a job. No, it ended up canceling it a month and a half before October. So like, clearly we can't be doing this. So now they're like re-pushing it to maybe combine it with next year's commence. I'm like,
Well, that's gonna be fun.
That's what Suffolk did.
Because
I'm not
graduation isn't
No.
isn't grueling enough already. My graduation was brutal in the hot fucking sun, the middle of a field.
going. It's not even
No
fun.
shade. No shade. Well, of course it's not fun. I get to go watch some people that I probably don't know, because it's obviously a college graduating class at a public university. So like, I don't know everybody that I graduated with, not even close. I know like maybe 100 people out of a graduating class of like probably 4,000.
yeah,
There's a whole bunch of people standing up there. Some people give these like self-aggrandizing speeches, like patting themselves in the back, stroking themselves off in front of me.
yeah.
It's awesome. We had a politician come on stage, and this isn't about his or her politics or anything like that. But just like so like giving this like
The motivational thing.
it's like not even a motivational speech, but more so like it was like a, you guys can do anything. You guys can topple this administration. It's like, okay, fine. Listen, I agree with the sentiment. That's fine. The problem was that it was such like a talking down to type speech of just like oh like literal like quite literally preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
Like you don't need to give this revolutionary like liberal speech to a whole bunch of liberal 22-year-olds. You need to go to the office, the nice mahogany office that you have, and actually do something about it, or give it to somebody where it's an actual controversial opinion. Because it was like pitches this whole controversial thing. I think that even the Washington Post picked it up the next day and was like, or the Boston Globe definitely did, because the Globe loves that type of shit.
yeah.
I think even like the Washington Post picked it up and was like, oh, so and so gives a riveting speech at graduating thing, and I was like, it was not riveting. I was there.
Yeah.
Bored out of my fucking mind, snickering. I was.
I did not miss it at all.
No, it was.
I also think graduating high school shouldn't. Listen, it's gonna sound very.
I personally think graduating high school shouldn't be a requirement.
No, hold on. That is not what I'm saying.
I also think that you should be able to date your sister in these United States.
These were not a southernly held.
roll tide.
These were not a southernly held belief. This is my belief. I not speak for my Texas. And what I'm gonna say, like, celebrating high school graduation seems so weird to me.
Sounds terrible. I've been saying it for years.
It's
probably
like
the same thing. It's not an accomplishment.
It is not. You can. It's like I know people graduate high school. I'm like,
That sounds maybe kind of privileged of me, but I don't know if it is. Graduating high school is not an accomplishment.
I don't think it is. I mean, in the sense
Fucking
that
sue me.
in the sense that I understand like what is an accomplishment for people that don't like I understand the reasons why you don't graduate high school. You know what I mean? Like working like through stuff with your family, working a job, like working as a mechanic trade, whatever. Those are fine. Like I don't get people who are like, yeah, I graduated college or I graduated high school. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I would
like,
say this: it's probably at this point only an accomplishment in
like a first generation
within a situation of adversity.
No, see, so that's why I put my disclaimer.
That's definitely something where like I'll be quite honest, like kind of like graduating high school was an expectation. Graduating college was also an expectation. Where like I don't have very many applicable skills.
No, we know.
It's like if I didn't get that stupid piece of paper that allowed me to get my cushy white collar job, I don't have very many skills that I can use in the real world. These aren't welder hands. I'm not a carpenter.
God no.
I'm not one who cares for others or does anything noble. Fuck no. I'm an auditor. So like, listen, I needed both diplomas to just be a functional human being.
No, I agree with that. I think like you said, there's situations where not graduating. It's
societal,
it's fine.
Parental, like everyone around me, like all my friends have college degrees.
Oh, same, and all my are
like even my
most of my friends.
dumbest friends have college degrees. And he probably knows who he is, has a college degree, and one of my favorite friends.
Do I know who you're talking about?
I know he's in the same room as me. Just don't say anything.
Okay. And yeah, like I agree that like both of my parents have college degrees. Like, but my grandfather graduated college, or graduated high school, so my parents
back then you could graduate high school and still get like a good job, and that's it. Like you don't have to go to college.
No, I know. My grandfather graduated high school at the age of 21 because he went to war for 2 years.
Right.
Came back, and I'm like, that's a pretty good reason not to graduate at the time. But he didn't go to college because he got a really good job out of high school. So did my other grandfather.
My grandfather was like a cop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like a Boston City cop, like patrol, like not even like a whatever, like a crossing guard.
A lollipop.
Pretty
man.
much.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's the old guy you see like the whistle and the funny hat.
White
get
gloves.
over here.
Yeah.
Man.
White gloves, whistle, funny hat.
And that was whenever cars weren't even fast.
It's like you knew Charles McLaughlin.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy Charles
Joe
McLaughlin.
Schmo,
Yeah. The fucking Bachelor. That's a show.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that.
So they gave out the that was a really good tangent, guys. Well done.
We're only at 48 minutes.
Yeah, good tangent.
First rose.
So they gave out the first impression rose, which is only given out once a season. We know that now because we're pros. Unless what's his name leaves, and so unless Matt leaves and they bring in somebody else, and then it'll be given out twice.
I love how
Let's not worry about that.
I love how it's literally in the name, and it still took us a few episodes to be like,
Hey.
wait, hold on.
It's like, wait, why didn't Tasha give out a first impression rose again?
It's like, oh my
It's
God.
like she gave one out last episode. Why did she give it out this episode?
That's also one of my favorite disses that I'm not sure if I came up with it or if I'm like
it
respouting
would
out.
probably be me if it was funny.
No, it definitely wasn't you. For this reason. But my favorite thing is if someone is, being harsh on you, it's the first time and you say, you must be really good at second impressions.
That's a good one.
I don't know if I came up with that or if I
definitely
heard
did.
that.
You definitely did.
But the thing is, I've looked it up. I've tried to find a thing. I can't find anything on it. But I know I've heard that idea either from my dad, who heard it from his dad, or whatever. Like, but it's
Passed down
old-
from generation to generation.
Old Mick folklore says that
thanks.
the most cutting insult to deliver to a man is you must be good at second impression.
Exactly. But that is probably one of my favorite disses, and I've used it at like parties where you're meeting people for the first time all the time, and they don't get it initially, and it's more of like my satisfaction of knowing it. It's just, I don't know. It's a great diss. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to get off tangent because our first impression rose discussion.
First impression rose. He could have given it to a few different people. There was a girl in an emerald dress. Her name was Bree. She's a delight. She's someone who I think is very attractive. I may or may not have tweeted I forget what I tweeted about Brie.
That garbage can.
Hold
thing.
on. Was she wearing an emerald dress?
She was wearing the emerald dress.
I thought she was wearing like a deeper maroon. I must have
Nope, she was wearing emerald. She was the first one. I think I forget what I tweeted.
I
There's a
thought
Wizard of
Rachel.
Oz joke in
Was
here
the one with
somewhere.
the
Carry me
first-
for a minute. I got to find my tweet.
Sure, go for it. And so she got the first rose.
Yo, wait. Hold
I was gonna ask you about how you felt.
So, not that I think she should have won the rose. There's this girl, I think her name was Rachel. She was also wearing a green dress. I was very impressed with her. You guys didn't seem to react to her that much, but
Well, when she first came on, I was like, "Wow, that girl's attractive."
well,
I did
that's not
say
what I
that.
meant. That's not what I meant.
Well,
She just like talking to Matt was like, she just, I don't know. I thought she had a real nice connection with him. She was very smooth the way she talked. She didn't sound like she was super nervous.
I just looked up Rachel. Guess where she's from?
Where's she from?
Cumming, Georgia. And
you-
it's spelled Cumming.
okay, so Anthony, you really
Sure,
didn't listen during the
no.
episode because I said that exact same thing.
You said that?
I'm like, "Oh, she's from Cumming." No reaction. I thought you at least heard me.
Cumming, Georgia. It's spelled Cumming.
I know. I pointed this out.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh my!
I want to move to
God.
Cumming, Georgia.
Anyways, I was
raise
right.
my family there. We're from Cumming.
I came and then I went. Anyhow, I was quite impressed with her. I think we'll be seeing her for a long time. That's
I hope so.
That's my
I
general
thought she was
point.
one of the prettiest ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to have an opinion on who I think is pretty.
Andrew, I don't think that you thought that she was that pretty.
no. You guys didn't seem to have much of a reaction to it at all.
I literally said, never mind. I have already said it 3 times already.
Yeah.
I don't think that girl was wearing an emerald. I'm so
I
surprised.
don't know what
It
she
wasn't
was-
emerald. It was like a forest green
Oh.
velvet thing.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
And he gave it to what was her
Abigail.
name?
Abigail.
Abigail. Okay.
Abigail was the deaf one.
Yes.
They seem to have a good connection. Yeah, I wasn't really paying that much attention.
I know. We
You
both
know what's
know.
weird is there's a girl named MJ in here. She's hot. There's a girl named MJ in here, and that's also the dildo's name. I was half expecting when I saw MJ the name pop up in the listing that I'm looking at. I was expecting it just to be a picture of the dildo, which would be so fucking funny, and I would give ABC eternal props if they had done that.
Did you hear whenever she was interrupting the one who actually had the dildo?
MJ was interrupting the dildo one.
Yes, MJ interrupted dildo one. Goes, excuse me, is it fine if MJ2 gets a turn?
Oh, I remember that joke, and I
Mhm.
didn't put 2 and 2 together.
I was like,
Oof.
it was a funny joke.
Dude, I was tweeting furiously during this episode, so I caught like one thing, and then it would take
To
me 3
one
seconds to
person.
tweet,
I
and
love
then
it.
I turn around, yeah.
He was very impressed with his tweets.
My tweets were good
Check
tonight,
him
bro.
out.
But yeah, no, I said something about Brie. I said, oh yeah, Brie is the one I said. Brie is lovely.
Sneak preview.
If Matt doesn't realize the treasure that she is, I will gladly be her human pet. Tie me to the radiator and feed me dog food, por favor. I stand by that. Listen, if Brie doesn't get, and this offer extends to Kristen.
Any living human female.
No, I'm not going to cast it that wide. Jasenia. Imani's gone, but Imani hit my line, dog. You know where to find me at Reality Wagon on Insta, at Reality Wagon on Twitter. Corinne's pretty hot. Corinne's 22. She looks older than 22. That's the weird thing about this show. She's 22. She looks milfy.
Have you never met one of those
Okay.
before?
No, dude, there's never mind. I'm not going to mention who or where this girl came from. But there's a girl that I know that is attractive now in, how old are we now? How old are we? 23? In 15 years, she's going to be like the hottest mom.
Okay.
Like she's like attractive now, but she's gonna age so well that like, you know, those people that you see when they're super young and you're just like, you're gonna be a MILF.
Yeah. I've seen those people. Then I've seen people that I was thinking of where it's like one went to my high school and like I saw a picture of them recently in like a friend's photo after college. I go, how have you aged 25 years in 4?
Yikes.
And
The
I-
methamphetamine.
and
Ouch.
it wasn't like I was thinking very bad. I didn't really care for her in high school. Like she was kind of not the best person to a lot of people I knew. And I was like, you know what? That's
Wait, you talking about Sally?
I'm talking about Sally because you knew all of my high school
God,
people.
Sally sucks, bro.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And you're right. Sally is super ugly now.
Who the fuck, Sally?
That's the joke, Spencer. It's okay. But yeah, no, Bree can get it. Oh, also, here's the thing, right? Literally, like, every girl here is in marketing. There's so many people in marketing.
Or a slight like communications. Is that
Yeah,
what
here
yours
we
is?
go. Yeah, communications, event coordinator,
Guess
marketing
there's something wrong with all the
manager,
guys in marketing. Gotta go on the show.
marketing director,
They
social
can't get a
media
job.
marketer, bank marketing manager. Fucking, I work at a bank.
I thought that was a pretty good dig, and he
It
didn't.
it was a
No,
good
what
dig.
did you say? There must be something wrong with all the dudes in marketing.
It's because they can't get a job in marketing.
It's because they can't get a job in marketing. They're stuck as an auditor. Whoops. Not editing that out. Marketing specialist. The broadcast journalist is hot. I don't know if she's still around. Sarah?
I didn't even see.
So that's the thing is,
Too
like,
many
there's
names.
too many names. There's too many girls. We don't know who any of them are.
That's why we're not doing tears this week.
Victoria actually looks hotter in her like profile photo here than she does in the show. She lives for the perfect Aperol spritz.
Oh God.
My ex
Aperol
loved a good
spritz,
Aperol spritz.
I couldn't even tell you what's in an Aperol spritz other than
Aperol.
Aperol.
It's
I was about to say
an Aperol spritz is
Aperol and Sprite.
no prosecco
That sounds disgusting.
and like
Her biggest turnoff is a man who can't keep his room clean. Victoria, we will never work out.
some juice in there if you
Oh.
want. Orange twist.
She has G Fuel in there.
It's a G Fuel cocktail.
Like, what?
Wait, G Fuel and an Aperol spritz, a little brininess, a little sweetness.
We call it Aperol Sprints at
little
that point.
bitterness from the Aperol.
Oh, Andrew, you don't. I'm gonna shake your fucking hand.
We better
'cause
go
listen,
buy some Aperol.
You don't make very many funny jokes,
I do not.
but when you do,
That was good. That was good.
I like to be showered.
Aperol Sprints was a good one.
Thank you.
It's good. We gotta copyright that or cut it so we.
Oh
know
my
it is
God,
and they don't.
Alicia once danced for Aretha Franklin.
That's actually a really cool fact.
Oh no, she performed on stage with Aretha Franklin. I don't know. That's probably the same thing.
Does Aretha
I
Franklin
think
have
that's a-
dancers?
Not anymore.
I mean, is Aretha Franklin dead?
I thought she passed away a few years ago. I'll look that up. Because I remember her performing, and then a few years later seeing a.
Yeah, she
news-
passed away a couple years ago.
You couldn't have. In 2018. You couldn't have done this while both of us were reaching for our phone.
Hey Siri, is Aretha Franklin dead?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Unbelievable.
2018.
Already
Good soul, guys.
SBCT.
Gone too soon.
Yeah. Honestly, so what I'm saying is that's a great fact.
She also loves hot chocolate. We're learning so much about Alicia, but it's so bad because Alicia's the ballerina who is no longer there.
Oh.
She's hot, bro.
He had a thing for feet, I guess.
See if I can get her on the pod. Alicia, if you're listening, you're only 24. Listen, I'm 23. You're far more mature than I am. Like, clearly, I'm just going by how you look and carry yourself. But if you like an adult man-child who hates his job and eats a lot of junk food, me,
Yes.
Anthony.
Who is currently bulking.
I mean,
Not eating junk food. Bulking.
it's, dude, I'm so fat now.
We ate so much food.
I know.
this
I'm
weekend,
literally
guys.
I usually I'll I look my best in the morning as soon as I wake up, and like it's good because I have like a mirror on the outside of my bed or like kind of like on my wall. So
Yeah.
like I'll like hop out of bed. First thing I do, flip on the light, look at myself in the mirror, admire it for a second,
Check
wait
out
until
your
I eat
turkey dick.
breakfast, and then as soon as I eat breakfast, it's like gone for the day.
I was telling Spencer this. I went to the doctor today for my annual physical, which I haven't gotten in 2.5 years.
Mhm.
And
Go ahead and exploit all of those personal details that are part of the HIPAA Act. I want to hear them all.
I don't think saying I haven't had a physical in a while is a HIPAA.
I thought you were about to talk about like your BMI, your STD test, stuff like that.
I can talk about my weight.
The nurse
Okay.
called him Tubby.
No. She didn't call me Tubby. Here's what happened. I haven't been there in 2.5 years.
She looked at your balls and she said, "These are the smallest, hardest balls I've ever seen."
No, the doctor said that anyway. So I go in there and they take your weight. They take your weight and your height when you ever get in there. Obviously, height
Yep.
doesn't change, weight will. And I step on the scale, and it was like I think
Two
around-
bills.
She forgot to take off the 45-pound weight.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was weighing, I think, 169. I was in full clothes and all that stuff. And she goes, "Oh my God, you've gained 12 pounds." And I'm thinking to myself, I gained 12 pounds. And I go, wait, I haven't been here in 30 months. I'm like, I don't think gaining an average of 5 pounds a year.
It's like, oh my
Is
God,
that
you've
bad?
grown a foot and a half since the last
Yeah.
time we saw you.
She said it as if like it
You've grown
was
so
so
much, Billy.
shock. I'm like, but I'm sure they see people that have been there within a year, be like, "Wow, you've gained 50 pounds." But she said it. I'm like, I want to see her reaction to those people. Be like, "You're so freaking fat. What are you doing?"
What happens if you see someone for the first time? Be like, "Oh my God, you've grown 5 feet 8
Yeah.
inches. You've gained 173 pounds since the last time we saw you." Never.
Oh, I was almost offended, and I was like, you know what? It's
You're like,
okay.
fuck
She's-
it.
Yeah, who cares?
She's just a stupid nurse.
My
Yeah.
I'm
Barbara,
gonna be rich
you've
one day.
grown.
I'm gonna buy this hospital.
She's about to take my blood. I don't need her prying around for multiple, veins, arteries, or stuff. It was just one of those things where I'm like, really? That's where you're going with?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So Abigail got the rose, first impression rose. The rest of a whole bunch of people were kicked off that like no one really knows. Like I said, some hot girls. Alicia can get it. Imani can get it. There's some other hot ones that were just lost in the fold. It happens. It happens. We will. It's unlikely we will ever see these people again. They do not come back usually in other
No,
things
this
when
is
they're
not
eliminated.
All Stars
Well, not even
Bachelor.
no, but it's just like in Bachelor in Paradise and stuff like that. Usually they pull from like people that have been in.
No, they're not Davids. They're not pulling in Davids.
Good point. Good reference.
Thank you.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
Correct.
Spencer, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, we'll be back next week. Hopefully, there's not like a double episode or something tomorrow, or else I'm.
No, next week. You're
Thank-
okay.
thank
Not
God.
until like 10 weeks from
Those
now.
double episodes give me like PTSD.
Oh my God.
It's a nightmare watching 4 hours of Bachelorette in 2 days. I don't want to do that.
That's so much time.
I
Think
wanna
about
do
that's a 12th of your time.
Those are hours I'll never get back.
And if you're not even counting sleep, it's like a 6th or a 5th of your time.
Jesus Christ.
It's terrible.
And then like work is like another huge chunk of that.
All my free time is Bachelorette. When it's a double episode.
I go and I study.
Yeah.
It's like I study from 5 o'clock as soon as I get on work until 8 o'clock when it starts, and then I study till midnight afterwards. But
Oh.
so yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you all so much for joining us on this episode of the Reality Wagon Bachelor podcast. It sounds weird because I already have my cadence down as like the Reality Wagon Bachelorette podcast, but I'll adjust it. I'll adapt.
Yeah, you
That's
will.
what the best podcasters do.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get a nice radio voice in, like "Welcome to the Reality Kings
So
podcast."
ignore any of his
Welcome to the Reality.
recommendations.
Did you say Reality Kings?
Yeah, what is it?
You said
Oh, that's a porn site.
That's
isn't
the
it?
porn site. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right.
Hot mic myself.
Well, when you
Jeez.
said Reality Kings, I almost said it back, and I was like, I know what that is. That's bookmarked on my computer at home. But yeah, thank you for listening to episode 1 of the Reality Wagon Bachelor podcast. We are live on Spotify and on iTunes. On Spotify, you can give us a follow, and you'll get automatic download to your device. That's sick. On iTunes, you can subscribe to us. Same thing as a follow on Spotify. And you can also give us 5 stars, and you can give us a comment. Those are really helpful for us. We don't get a whole lot of those, and it's something where if we can get more, that would really help our growth, because that helps promote us in like rankings and stuff like that and related search terms. So yeah, go ahead and do that, please, if you'd be so kind. We are on iTunes, or not iTunes. We are on Twitter. We're on Instagram, both at Reality Wagon. That's one word, Reality Wagon. We live tweet the episodes. I was fast and furious with the tweets today. But I live tweet the episodes. I kind of tweet throughout the week and stuff like that. That's where we put up all of our tier rankings, which we'll probably get into soon. We don't really know
Whenever
when.
there's good enough people, because doing it with like 40 women.
Also, I don't know any of them.
That's the thing. We need to get, once we know their names, which
Yeah.
will be probably around 2025 mark. I
think once we get to about 20, we can go ahead and start to consider it, because then by that point we'll have people that we could even just put in like forgettable.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it'd be funny if we still lifted a Dale tier.
Yeah, I
we
would
just,
like
We
that.
we should just keep it a Dale.
I stand that.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, so follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter for both of those. We have this podcast also on video form, so if you're watching on video form, then you just learned how to listen to it after you watch the whole thing. But we are up on ANMC Studios
Yes.
on YouTube. So it's Aaron, Nancy, Michael, Charles Studios on YouTube. All of these go up. We didn't even do a purple light. No special light today. Just good old-fashioned incandescent light bulbs.
Correct.
See all of
Actually, I mean they're LED, but
see all my terrible skin and bad hair.
Get to see.
you can see that in purple. It's just a little bit dimmer.
I like the purple because it hides some of the blemishes. But yeah, so go ahead, engage with us there, like and subscribe, pretty please. And I think that's gonna be it for us, folks. Spencer, do you have anything to say?
I'm glad I'm not just a cameo anymore.
I know. Listen, we gave you a whole mic.
I
And
know. I got
everything.
my own microphone.
I know. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. I hope I didn't shit my pants today.
No, you didn't do too bad. It smells pretty bad, but no one can even tell that you shit yourself. But yeah. So thank you very much. My name is Anthony,
My name is Andrew.
My name is Spencer.
and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye bye.